Been a couple of weeks since the Bengals bounced the Ravens. Tyler Huntley, by the way, looked really good in the Pro Bowl games quarterback accuracy challenge. That said, it's Lamar's gig, unless it's not. It's been 2 weeks since the Ravens held their press conference to end the season, and, it makes complete sense that they're saying nothing. They don't have to. We'll see him at the Combine at the end of the month, beginning of March. What did happen, best you could tell, and what is happening with Lamar and the Ravens, Mike Florio?
Rich, ESPN reported at the start of the regular season that Lamar Jackson had been offered $133 million fully guaranteed by the Ravens. That's the biggest detail that's come out from whatever it was that the Ravens put on the table. And a couple of weeks ago, Ryan Clark reiterated that same report, I think without even realizing that it was already out there from Chris Mortensen from week one. $133 million, fully guaranteed, and you can compare that to Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson and say only $133 million. Oh, my God, now we know why Lamar Jackson said no. And the point I've been trying to get people to understand, until you have the full deal, you don't know how much, as a practical matter, is guaranteed when the contract is signed. And there's a very common device in big money contracts that we'll see. You've got the amount that's fully guaranteed at signing. Let's say it's 133 in Lamar Jackson's case. Then you've got an amount that is injury guaranteed but becomes fully guaranteed right after year one, just like the Derek Carr $40.4 million. It's not fully guaranteed at signing, but right after the first year, it is fully guaranteed. And they ain't going to cut Lamar Jackson after guaranteeing him $133 million and only 1 year of football. So that amount that vests the next year is highly relevant to understanding what really was on the table. And we've never seen what really was on the table for Lamar Jackson. The Ravens won't breathe a word of it, and Jackson / the NFLPA have been selective in what they've leaked. I think if we saw the full deal, we would probably, if we did a poll, we'd probably have 75% or more who think that Lamar Jackson should have taken it. The question now is, what gets put back on the table? Do they use the non-exclusive franchise tag to let him go out and try to get that 5-year fully guaranteed contract that he has wanted ever since Deshaun Watson got his? And would the Ravens match it or just take 2 first-round draft picks as compensation? But that's the next big deadline here. What will the Ravens do if they don't work out a long-term deal, and I don't think they will? What will they do with the franchise tag? Non-exclusive and let him go look elsewhere, or exclusive for about $13 million more in 2023 and continue to hold his rights? He can't talk to anybody else. He plays for them or he plays for no one. So that's how it's going to play out over the course of the next month or so.
Unless you listen to the whispers that scream at you, there is no table. They're done with him. They're done with him. He's done with them. That's what was going on behind the scenes in the last month of the season. Anything?
Well,
what do you think?
Well, and that's not a surprise, but, it conflicts with what was said 2 weeks ago.
No doubt. It conflicts with everything that's been said publicly. It conflicts with everything. Right. That's true.
Right. Eric DeCosta, the GM of the team, had a great comment during that press conference. He said that first he said there's 2 different people we're dealing with, Lamar the player and Lamar the agent. We love Lamar the player. And he never commented on Lamar the agent, and nobody asked him about his feelings on Lamar the agent. But Lamar the agent's been the problem here. And he's getting help from his mother, and the NFLPA is involved, and there was a grievance filed for collusion because other teams aren't giving quarterbacks 5-year fully guaranteed contracts. And as time goes by, we're seeing that the Deshaun Watson deal was an outlier. And one of the benefits an agent would have for Lamar Jackson, the agent could explain to him, here's how Deshaun Watson got his 5-year fully guaranteed contract. He told the Texans, I'm never playing for you again, trade me. They blinked and said, okay, we'll trade you. Then they set up this competition where 4 different teams were all trying to get Lamar Jackson, or Deshaun Watson, excuse me. And then along the way, the first team out, the Browns, had alienated their in-house quarterback, Baker Mayfield, so they got desperate. They swung back around, and they made this huge offer, 5 years fully guaranteed. You've got to do a lot of things to engineer that outcome. You don't just sit back and wait for it. And that's one of the big flaws in not having an agent. It's more than just sending emails to the general manager back and forth until you get a giant contract and you get 1, 2, 3% of it as your fee. It's setting up a strategy, working through difficult situations, and coming up with a way to get that thing that the client wants. Or reliably come to a conclusion that that thing the client wants isn't available, so you got to take your next best option, whatever it may be. And not having an agent, I think, has really been the wrench in the gears here between the Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.